officials in the past, but this man here may be bigger than me, so I think we better keep it straight tonight. We are just about ready for football now. 2 12-1 teams in the finals, the championship game of the Class 3A state playoffs. Hartselle against Eufaula. Kicking off, it appears to be number 24. They change it over. Ray Holbrook. He gets the signal from the official. Advances towards the football. Kicks it, and we are underway. A short kick. Danny Gwaltney will take it in at the 20 and the 15. Almost it. Now picks it up at the 17. It's going to be hit and brought down by, looks like number 33, Vic McGregor, inside the 20 at about the 15.5-yard line. So Danny Gwaltney, the ball coming downwind. He dropped it, picked it up, tried to get over behind the wall. Before he could reach the wall, he was brought down for a loss of about 2 from where he picked up the football. So the Tigers will call it the 15-yard line. It is closer to the 15 than any other portion of the field right now. They bring it out. At the tailback position is Derek Richardson. At fullback, Kent Davis. I formation behind Bubba Scott. They go to Richardson over right guard, and he picks up 4 quick ones out to the 19-yard line, almost a gain of 5. It'll bring up second down and a short 6 yards to go for the Eufaula Tigers. Basically, a 5-man defense will be run by Hartselle. They run a 5-2-2-2 or 5-2-4 if you want to call it that. Eufaula came out that time in the high formation with the blocking back in tight. And out of the ball game goes Derek Fitz, and into the ball game comes, I believe it's Reggie Fitzer. I can't tell for sure. Maybe Bobby Egerton. That's who it is. Hand off again to Richardson. Over right tackle. Richardson breaks it. Got his first down at the 30-yard line. Derek Richardson gets 11 yards on that play as he has good running room across the right tackle. Now they say his knee is the 29-yard line, so give him a gain of 10, but it's more than enough for the first down. Eufaula has the initial first down of the contest tonight. They found him a little bit of a weakness over on that right tackle momentarily, and they seem to be picking at it. Derek Richardson still into the tailback position now. Takes the handoff to Minter. Minter goes over left tackle, spins away from one man and gets 3, maybe 4, up close to the 33-yard line. Give him a gain of about 4. That was Michael Simmons in at the fullback. We thought it was 25, but once again, we want to remind you, we're looking at a lot of glare. But it'll be second down now, and let's call it about 6 yards to go. He's up close to the 33-yard line. It's a long 6.5 yards. They come out once again now. Woodham is in at the fullback. Richardson still at the tailback. And a penalty play. Richardson was leaning on the play as he was really hit and thrown way back on the play. They stopped it short of the line of scrimmage at about the 30-yard line, but we were watching the flag being thrown. Richardson did not take a step, but he was leaning, anticipating it. When he leaned Sandy Jones, he just told everybody, here I come. Now, if they take the play, it'll be third down and about 8 yards to go for the Tigers of Eufaula. If they decline the penalty, let's see, they have declined the penalty, so we don't have to get into that situation. They say he did get across the 30, so a loss of about 1.5 on the play will bring up third down and 8 yards to go now for Eufaula, the back end of the football rest on the 30-yard line. Philip Willem goes out across the way. And they may be one short or something on the field. The players are signaling for somebody to come in, but we'll wait and see. Looks like to me they're all there. Bubba Scott with a pro set backfield behind him. Runs off to play. Fakes to the fullback. Touchdown. Bubba Scott fumbled the ball way forward downfield, and it was taken in the air by number 6, Johnny Burks, and he just ripped it into the end zone from about the 30-yard line. So quickly, Hartselle on a mistake by the Tigers. If you follow, is on top quickly by a score of 6-0. That was one of the things we feared, mistakes that would kill ourselves. So Hartselle is on the board, and the offensive team has not handled the football yet. Bubba Scott was hit on the pitch. It looked like he tried to pitch, and he ended up actually the ball going forward, and number 6 picked it off Burks and just took it on into the end zone. Extra point. The ball is stopped on the tee. It is good. So Hartselle leads it with 9:45 to go by a score of 7-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. Lightning his foot early in Tiger Stadium in Hartselle, Alabama. Bubba Scott going out on an option play. It looked like it might have been trying to be a shovel pass or something. At any rate, when Bubba was hit, he released the football. It looked like he was trying to pitch out. It went forward, taken in the air by Johnny Burks, and he raced it very quickly, just went right through the offense against the grain. 30 yards untouched into the end zone for the touchdown. 7-0. Holbrooks advances, gets another kick. This time Calvin Thomas takes it in at the 8-yard line to the 15. 26-yard line. So Eufaula with their work cut out for them right here. Very early in the first period of play, they trailed it by 7-0 in case you may have joined us late on that 30-yard interception and run back by Johnny Birch. I still would have to see the film just about it to tell exactly what Bubba Scott was doing. It appeared that he wanted to pitch, and maybe he got spun around or something when he pitched, but he pitched it forward right into Johnny Birch's hand. They bring him up for the 9 formation. Looks like Reggie Minter in the fullback. I think it's off to Minter. He hit right up the line of scrimmage at about the 26-yard line, maybe a little bit short. Let's see. Well, let's see if that play's going to count or not. I think they might have had timeout before that play got off, so that's what it is. So there's timeout. 9:16 left first period. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. Hartselle leads it 7-0, and we're just about ready to get underway. That last play did not count. Hartselle had a timeout, and the officials all didn't hear the whistle. High formation. Now they go to Minter again up the middle, and this time he loses the yard. As opposed to previously when he got back almost to the line of scrimmage. He stopped at the 25-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 11 yards to go, and you can rest assured that the Tigers of Hartselle are fired up. As good a team as Hartselle's got, it's going to be hard for us to come from behind after giving them something to really fire them up. So early in the football game, they lead at 7-0. Their offense has not been off the bench yet. Eufaula brings it out. They've got a flanker man wide to the right, high formation. Back again behind Bubba Scott. Scott back to draw play to Derek Richardson. Derek gets behind the line, gets away, gets up across the 25, fumbles the ball. 28-yard line in Eufaula territory. So Derek Richardson hits about the third time, tossed up the football, and Hartselle is fired up as they are leading 7-0. Their offense comes on the field, and the Eufaula defense will be sorely tested. They are already behind 7-0, and now they've got to try to hold out for onslaught. The Eufaula turns it over quickly, the first 2 possessions. Hartselle comes out. Wide out to the left is number 14, Barry Ward. Wide to the right is number 34, Wiggins. Underneath is Sims, the quarterback. Looks him over. Throws that backfield behind him. Long count now the line of scrimmage. Face this fullback. Runs off. Coming out and hit and brought down. Looks like a gain of about 2, maybe across the way. We'll have to see. Tommy Reeves comes up and hit him and ran him into the sideline across the way. Wanted a block. Made a fine defensive play. They give him a gain of about 2.5 down to the 25-yard line. So it'll be second down. And about, let's call it 7 yards to go for the first down. Hartselle, Blakely down to the 25-yard line of Eufaula. The quarterback Mills. They split 2 men wide to the left. Number 14, Ward and 12, McCarty go left. Post that backfield. Mills underneath. Long count. Face this fullback runs to Austin. Is hit and brought down short of the 20 and about the 21-yard line. We'll have to wait till they mark it. Reggie Minter comes up and makes the stop. It'll be third down and about 4.5 yards to go. Now the way it looks like a good solid 4 yards to go for the first down. The ball is about the 22, they say, where his knee hit first. Drive started at the 28 in Eufaula territory. Wide out to either side once again. McCarty and Ward. Sims underneath for long count once again. Comes down the line with the field. Burns the fullback, and he's got his first down inside the 20. Down to about the 16-yard line goes the big fullback, number 44, David Citizen. Marty Williams made the stop. Now they say his knee hit apparently something down around the 17-yard line, but it's still a first down. First and 10, and Hartselle threatening very early in the ball game to try to blow Eufaula completely out of it. Once again, they split 2 in 18 yards wide to either side. Mills the quarterback underneath. The post set backfield looking over the 4-man front for Eufaula. Turns around. A long count now. Takes. Hands off quickly to a fullback, and he hits the line of scrimmage. Keeps going on St. Louis, and he is finally hit, brought down by about 5 wide shirted Eufaula Tigers. But the fact that he continued on, I think he may have ended up losing about 18 inches or so, possibly a yard on the play. He slid off the initial tackle, and he lost the yard on the play. It will be second down and 11 yards to go. Derek Richardson in on the tackle. The 5-man stop. quickly on top now by a score of 13-0 with 5:58 left to go in the first period. He ran a reverse rollout option play that time when he headed to his fullback number 25, Stevie Williams. A couple of men hit him, and he just ran through their arms. He was hit and brought down just barely across the goal line. They'll line it up for the extra point now. Number 8, Greg Clemens, will do the extra point. The lines are set. The ball is not placed on the tee. The kick is in the air. So, still leads it with 5:58 to go in the first period. 14-0. Welcome back. The Hartselle Tigers on top of Eufaula by 14-0. They have already, in some 6 minutes and 2 seconds, they have produced as many points as any other team has in any one entire ball game this entire season. One of them was donated. That one, field position was donated. And once again, advancing for the football and kicking it. It'll be taken by George Hill. He's rocking about the 14 to the 15 to the 20, up the middle to the 25, and it's hit and finally brought down at the 29-yard line. So Eufaula will have good field position, and they're on the verge now. If they can't do something with this football, they may be looking at being blown out very early in the ball game. The offense has had the ball twice for Henry, giving it over twice. At the 30-yard line, Burks very early with 9:45 left to go, took it 30 yards on an intercepted fumble, I guess you might call it, in the air, and now quickly a 28-yard drive by Hartselle. Bubba Scott underneath, takes, goes to Richardson over right guard. He breaks one tackle, gets out to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line, and the way they mark it, I think it will be at the 36-yard line, and that's a gain of 7 quickly on the play. It'll bring up second down and 3 yards to go. The offense has to get their act together, cut out the mistakes. The line was blocking pretty good for the most part earlier, but so far the backs have had trouble handling onto the football. Now, a team as good as Hartselle is, you cannot continue to give them the football, especially they got it at our 30 and ran it in, and they had it at our 28. Richardson goes out. Calvin Thomas in his tailback. Now, Bubba Scott plays it. Pitches back to Calvin. 35. Calvin up the cross to the 40-yard line, and he's got his first down there right at the 40-yard line. So Calvin hit hard. He took another good lick in the back while he was a little off balance, and it'll bring up, but it's more than enough for the first down as the ball rests squarely on the 40-yard line. Well, now they say it's just the nose across the 40. So it's first and 10 for the Eufaula Tigers. They traded 14-0, having been hit by lightning twice before they could really work up a good sweat. Philip Woodham goes out. Thomas goes out. Hagler is in the backfield now. Watch for the halfback pass possibility. They have Richardson up the middle. He breaks it across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Goes Derek Richardson. About 7 or 8 yard gain. Remember now, we're running 2 quarterbacks. Anything can happen from this formation. The way they knock it down, it's going to be second down and about 2.5, let's call it 3 yards, because if he picks up 3, he's got more than enough for the first down. Clock continues to run. We've got 4:07 left to play in the first period, and Hartselle on top by a score of 14-0. Richardson and Hagler both go out now. Calvin Thomas is the tailback, and Philip Woodham is the fullback. Bubba Scott goes back, wants to throw. He's looking for Hollingsworth. Now he throws it deep, double team, and it's will be incomplete, out of bounds. No chance at all for it. And I'm not sure that wasn't where Bubba decided to throw the football anyway. He was well covered by 2 people, so Bubba just threw it out of bounds. The incomplete pass stops the front with 3:47 left to play first period. Eufaula will be looking at 3rd and 3. Now then, can we pick up the 3 yards? That was a good passing down. We haven't gone to the air yet, except on a fumble that was intercepted. They bring him out. 3rd down and 3. George Hill is in at the tailback. Philip Woodham at the fullback. He's in blocking back. They go to Hill. Hill over right tackle is hit, and he's going to be short of his first down, I do believe. I think it'll be to where they mark the football, but the way we looked at it, and I believe the way the official is going to mark it, he's going to be about a foot, and he is going to be short of his first down by about 18 inches. So it'll be 4th down at about 18 inches, and that's the decision across the way. Do we go for it, or do we punt it on down out of the far end of the field? I do believe they're going for it, and at this situation in the ball game, already trailing 14-0 with a little over 3 minutes left first period, Eufaula virtually has no choice but to go for it. They've got to get something going on offense. They can't afford to turn the ball over to the Hartselle offense. Derek Richardson comes in at fullback. George Hill is in at the tailback. They go to Derek Richardson. He's got his first down on the 48-yard line in Hartselle territory. A quick handoff that time to Derek over left guard. The 5 blocking that time by look like John Connor and Ray Barnes over left side. The Tigers wording and all has been red, and the circle is in white. Flanker back to the right now. High formation behind Bubba Scott. Pitches back to Calvin Thomas. Thomas hit it to 48, gets away from one man, gets it to the 45. On some good second effort. And brings it back down about 7 yards to go. Last 4 years that there hasn't been a fight in this state, but that's something we're glad to hear about. We don't have anybody on our team that we can remember trying to fight or wanting to fight all year, or trying to play a team that plays with a lot of class on the other side. There's no room for fighting on the football field. That usually occurs when somebody's losing and just can't keep their act together. George Hill still into the tailback. Kent Davis is in the fullback. Bubba Scott on the second down center. Fake. Now he's going to Hollingsworth over the middle. Completed inside the 35. About the 34-yard line. He paid the penalty, but Lee Hollingsworth came down with the football. First and 10, Eufaula at the 34-yard line in Hartselle territory. He was drilled in the back that time. I believe it was 44 that hit him. If so, that's David Citizen, the fullback on offense. He was drilled, but that's something Hollingsworth was wearing that when he left the ground. He had a hunch he was going to get hit. A good down and across pattern. The first completed pass of the night for the Tigers. Pro set backfield now. Take the hand of Richardson over right tackle. He gets a couple down about the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. About the 32, they say is where he gets. So give him a gain of about 2. He almost spun away and got to the outside, but some fine defensive play across the way by the left side of the defensive unit for Hartselle. Looked like it must have been number 77, Murphy, the linebacker over there, in on the stop. Second down, 8 yards to go for Hartselle, or for Eufaula, rather. That's the Hartselle 32. 1:11 left in the first period. A very, very important drive for Eufaula. They need 7 on the board, very much so. Hand off to Richardson on the draw play. Just runs into somebody and hit up. Number 65 out there, and that is Tony Woodruff. And I'm not sure either one of them meant to do that. Woodruff wanted to get in on the tackle, but Richardson come back and sort of met almost face to face. Third down, 8 yards to go now for the Tigers. No gain on the play. Out of the game goes Kent Davis, Reggie Mitzer, and Derek Richardson. Lee Hollingsworth was split wide to the left, and in the slot will be number 28, Jerry Woodham. Spread wide to the north, going out of the ball game now. Formation with Calvin Thomas in at the tailback now. The throw, he's looking across the middle for Hollingsworth, completed. First down inside the 20 to the 15. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. He fumbles the football, and let's see who comes up with it. I believe he got the ball back. It is complete. Lee Hollingsworth wide open over the middle. Eufaula has recovered the fumble, and they'll be looking at first and goal at the 8-yard line. And Coach Cochran, for the last several games, has used Lee primarily on a down and out pattern. Sending him across the middle. He was wide open that time, got away from a tackle at the 20. Another one at about the 13 and was finally hit down at the 10. But he recovered his own fumble. Now they mark it at the 9-yard line. First and goal for the Tigers. There's 4 seconds left, and I don't think they'll get this play off before the end of the first period. Yes, they do get it off. Nope, they don't get it off. So at the end of the first period, Hartselle leads Eufaula by a score of 14-0 as we change into the field. We'll be back in 30 seconds. The two teams have changed into the field, scoring in the first period of play. Hartselle took in 2. They took a fumble 30 yards. Instantly right on into the end zone went Johnny Burks with 9:45 to go in the first period. They led it by 7-0. Then with 5:58 left to go in the first period, after a 28-yard drive, the number 25, Williams, took it in on a 15-yard scoring play. Eufaula first and goal at the 9-yard line, going to our right. They go outside to Richardson. He's headed for the corner. He will score. So Derek Richardson on a handoff from Bubba Scott takes it around right into the corner of the end zone untouched. And quickly the Tigers of Eufaula are back on the scoreboard. And we've got a flag coming up. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Probably from Derek spiking the football. I don't know, but it's 14-6. And if so, that penalty would be enforced, unsportsmanlike conduct against Eufaula. And the only one in that position was Derek Richardson, and I'm sure spiking the football and from where it was at, and that was a good call by the officials. The lines will set up, though. 14-6, Eufaula has gotten back into the ball game, at least momentarily. The lines are set. Snap, put out on the tee. The kick is in the air. It is good. 14-7 with 11:55 to go, second period. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. Eufaula back into the ball game now. After 2 miscues on offense, they came back. They drove it 70 yards right down the field on some fine passing, really, to the Lee Hollingsworth open over the middle. And now a 15-yard, well, let's see. Yep, a 15-yard penalty all the way back to the Eufaula 25 is going to be assessed against the Tigers for spiking the football in the end zone. And that's really going to hurt the Tigers because now that's going to give Hartselle excellent field position unless some kind of miscue comes up on the ensuing kickoff. But for Eufaula, 70-yard drive, and Richardson takes it in the last 9 yards. Richardson now will be kicking off. The official is talking to him, explaining to him just exactly what did happen. And he is preparing to kick off. Taking a long time now, but that is the rule in high school. There is no spiking the football. He's finally got his discussion satisfied now. Derek Richardson will be kicking off. But from the 25-yard line of Eufaula, they are kicking from left to right as you face your radio dial. Hartselle will be receiving and back to receive at their own 15-yard line. As Richardson gets a high kick, it comes over here. It's taken by Williams, number 25, MC20, to the 25, 30, 35, 38-yard line to the 40-yard line. And John Helm brought it down on the stop. And Mr. Williams did something that really sort of surprised me then. When the man started to hit him, he sort of slowed down and balled up. So it'll be 1st and 10, outstanding field position for the Hartselle Tigers. 1st and 10, the nose of the football is just barely across the 40-yard line. They will move from right to left. 11:40 left in the second period of play. 14-7, Hartselle leads it. They got 2 men split wide to the right this time. A little bit of shifting around by the Eufaula defense. They take to the fullback. They run the option play. Sims hit. He's got maybe a half yard up close to the 41-yard line. Number 22, Michael Simmons runs him down on the line of scrimmage and brings him down. Second down now, and about 9 yards to go for the first down. He made a little less than a yard, but we'll call it 9 yards to go for the first down. Clock continues to run. We're still early in the second period of play. In case you may have joined us late, a 30-yard interception return from a fumble, taken in midair. Hartselle led it. Then a 28-yard drive following the Eufaula fumble, and they're leading it 14-7 now. They got a man split still, wide to either side. Quarterback back, wants to throw. He's looking down the left side now. Now he throws a screen pass in the flat to Williams. Williams is being chased, is hit, and brought down for no gain at the 41-yard line. Reggie Mincer once again, and throwing flat passes is his bag. He had it almost for a loss at about the 36, but the skill of the receiver, number 25, the man who scored the touchdown, Stevie Williams, and his speed, he got it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll still be 3rd down and just a grunt over 9 yards to go for Hartselle. Number 34 comes into the ball game. That'll be Keith Wiggins. Wiggins was split wide to the right now. Number 14, Ward was split wide to the left. They've got a pro set split backfield. Quarterback looks over a 4-man front for Eufaula. Takes. Runs a draw play to Williams. He's going to be hit and brought down at about the 43-yard line. 42 and a half, maybe. Gained up maybe a yard and a half. And we'll try to pick up who made the tackle. Philip Woodham made the stop that time. Number 12. Sandy says it's up to 42. So the Tiger defense has held. 4th down and about 8.5 yards to go. And now the offense will get the football back. And they should get some half-decent field position this time. Kent Davis back in his own 18. The punter gets a wobbly sort of kick. That's going to hit at about the 32. That makes the Eufaula bounces laterally. Now bounces back up the field to the 31-yard line. Eufaula will have it 1st and 10 from that point. And that time was 19 and 9, about 28 yards, 27 yards, something like that. So the Eufaula Tigers trail 14-0 very early. They got back into the ball game with a 14-7 after a 70-yard drive capped by Derek Richardson's 9-yard run. And now they'll see if their offense can get something else going. They really didn't down it to the 31 after it bounced back up the field, but they marked it up to 30. So it's 1st and 10 for Eufaula at their own 30-yard line. Scott with an I formation. Goes to Richardson. Richardson breaks it out to the 35 and gets down. I believe that's Reggie Mincer. Reggie Mincer picks up 5 quick ones out to the 35-yard line, and he almost broke that one. One man, we didn't catch his number, but a fine defensive play by a linebacker. If he had missed Mincer and let Mincer get to the outside, he might have rambled on that one. 8:55 left, second period. Second down, 5 yards to go for Eufaula. They desperately need to put 7 more points on the board. Then we've got a whole new ball game going. Lee Hollingsworth wide to the right. This time they go to Kent Davis. Davis is up to the 38-yard line. Is where they'll mark it down, maybe close to the 39. But I think it'll be closer to the 38. So let's call it 3rd down and about 2 yards to go for Eufaula. So the offense, in spite of turning the ball over the first two possessions, they're doing everything in their power to put the Tigers right back up into a tie ball game situation. 14-7, they trail it. 8:21 left to play in the second period. Bubba Scott brings them out. Derek Richardson is in at tailback. Philip Woodham is the fullback. Richardson has the football, goes to the outside. He's driving, third. He gets his first down to the 43. Two being had him at the 39, short of the first down. He would not have that. He kept spinning off, and whose part is doing a good job, Sandy Jones. They've done some outstanding blocking, and when they've gone to the hand, they have really given Bubba Scott an awful lot of time to throw. 7:52 now left to play. Eufaula looking at a 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line, 58 yards from tying this ball game up or possibly going ahead. Wide to the left goes one man. Scott with the ball. And he hands off to the fullback, fakes the pitch. He gets maybe a yard up the middle. It's Reggie Mitchell to the 43-yard line. It'll bring up second down at about 9 yards to go. As they umpile him. It is down at the 43. Maybe a run across. Call it second down. 9 yards to go. At the chains across the way. Kent Davis comes into the ball game now. Reggie Mincer goes out. Derek Richardson is still in at the fullback position. Lee Hollingsworth now goes wide to the left, about 15, 16 yards. They put one man on him shallow and another man edges a little over for deep. Back now they go to Kent Davis on the play. 30 fumble way down the field, and Hartselle, let's see, the ball is being fought for down at about the 11-yard line, and Eufaula had one man fighting for it, and it's a fight to see whose football it is. Please, let's see who has it. Eufaula recovered it, they say. He fumbled the ball at about the 25-yard line. It went all the way to the 11, and only one Hartselle man was there. The Eufaula man appeared and dove in on the ball and really came up with it, and I wish I knew who that was. 76, Al Williams comes up with a fumble, and the ball is on the 12-yard line in Hartselle territory. So Kent Davis on a fine run, did some good running. He almost broke it away. One man sort of hedging him to the sideline, and he spun him around. Kent fumbled the football forward, and we saw nothing but red jerseys. And all of a sudden, Al Williams came out of nowhere, dove in against the Hartselle man, and came up with a football. 1st and 10, Eufaula at the 12-yard line. Bubba Scott looks it over now. Hands to Richardson. Richardson over right tackle inside the 10 to about the 7, maybe the 8. On a penalty play at about the 10-yard line. The official throws the flag, and let's see what the call is going to be. Holding is going to be the call against Eufaula, so that'll probably be a 10-yard walk-off. A very late flag, but I think it might have been on the man trying to crack back as Derek hit into the line and tried to dance to the outside. Apparently the man tried to move into the Eufaula man, held it at that position. So that'll move the ball back to the 22-yard line, I believe. Up to the 27. That's a 15-yard penalty. Eufaula so far has pulled 3 penalties for a total of 35 yards. That's their second 15-yarder of the night. And the ball now is, well, that ain't bad. 14-yard penalty, Sandy. I guess we can live with that. Maybe it's from the point of infraction. First down and 24 yards to go. As the ball is back on the 26-yard line now. And Eufaula will have to open it up a little bit. Al Williams coming up so far with the best offensive play for the Tigers of Eufaula. They've had 3 fumbles. They've recovered one of them. Bubba Scott comes them out. Bobby Hickerson wide to the right. Hollingsworth wide left. They got one-on-one coverage. They hand off in the middle. Look like to Derek Richardson. We'll have to wait and see. I think it was number 30. He's across the 25, just barely inside to about the 24-yard line. It's a bring up second down. It's still awful long yardage. At about 22, 23 yards to go for the first down. They could make a first down at about the 2-yard line in Hartselle territory. 5:40 left to play in the first half, and a very, very important drive for Eufaula. If they can tie this ball game up just before the half, especially after giving 2 quick ones to Hartselle, they could really get into it. Egerton wide right, wide to the left. Now back to throw is Scott. He's got time, throws and Derek Richardson. Derek Richardson, the fullback over the middle on a play they have not used in about 5 or 6 games and almost got them into the state finals last year. But now they hit Richardson over the middle, and Eufaula, after scoring and making it 14-13 with 5:19 to go, wants timeout. There's timeout on the field. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. Eufaula giving up a quick 6-7 points rather to Hartselle on a fumble interception for a touchdown, then coming back and fumbling at their own 28-yard line. that was taken in by the Hartselle offense, trailing 14-0. The Tigers have come clawing and scratching back. It is 14-13, and Michael Simmons will be trying to tie it up here. The lines are set. Somebody had to be offside. The kick is in the air. We got whistles everywhere, and it looked like either Eufaula had to draw them off. Let's see what it is. Offsides against Hartselle. That'll take it to the 1.5. And now then, do you take the point away off the board that has the ball game tied, or is there a choice? There's not a choice. You take it off. We didn't have a choice. I don't think. We ran into this last year, I believe, or year before last in the playoff, when we had to take the point off the board, could not refuse it. Now they move it down to the 1.5-yard line. The decision across the way, do we still go for the kick? Yes, we do. 5:19 left to play. Still an awful lot of football. The lines are set. The ball is now placed on the tee. The kick is in the air. It is good. And we've got a tie ball game at 14 with 5:19 left to play second period. We'll be back in 30 seconds. It's very early in the night. 5:19 left in the second period, but take it off. Put it in the microwave. I don't believe a stove can handle this ball game before it's finished. Put it in the microwave. Put it on high. We've got a tie ball game after trailing 14-0. Eufaula has come clawing and scratching back. We've got a tie ball game. Derek Richardson advances for the kickoff now. Gets a good, solid knuckleball type kick. And Williams fumbles, gets around at his own 5. Picks it up now to the 10, outside to the 15. Gets the running room. He's hit and brought down about the 27-yard line. And on the bottom of the pile, I believe that's my man, number 87, Jimmy Tennille. So my man Tennille, and if it's some kind of omen, Sandy Jones, every time that Jimmy Tennille has made a tackle on a touchdown, on a kickoff, we have not lost that football game. So Jimmy Tennille gets his name on the radio again, and all of a sudden we got a new ball game with 5 minutes exactly left second period. Wide to the right goes number 14, Ward. The rest of it, a full set backfield. Quarterback Mims has to his fullback. He's got good yardage across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Gain of about 7 as they rip right straight up the field for 7 quick yards. Now they mark it at the 33-yard line, so give him a gain of about 6 on the play. It'll be second down, 4 yards to go, and now the defense is being called on for Eufaula. Wiggins splits wide to the right. Quarterback Mims, he is a good one. Runs option, goes to the fullback. He is drilled at the 34-yard line by the middle of the Tiger defensive wall, led by, look like, Marty Williams on the play. And down on the bottom as well is number 30, Derek Richardson. So Marty and Derek combined for the stop. Gain of 1, third down, and about 3 yards to go, and a long 3 yards at that. Another decisive thing coming up play for the Eufaula defense. It looked like they were on the verge of being blown completely out of the stadium without getting on track. They finally got their act together. 3rd and 3 now for Hartselle. Pro set backfield behind the quarterback Mims. Takes. Runs option play to his right. Pitches out. Turnabout is fair play. The pitch right into the hands of Williams. A little bit behind it, but it's still a very fieldable type of pitch out right in his hands. It fell down, and I didn't pick up who got the fumble on the play. George Hill picked up the fumble, and all of a sudden, Eufaula is in position. 3:48 left to go in the first half. If they can drive this one 34 yards, they can go ahead in the ball game after looking like they were going to be run out of it. Once again, you cannot assume that this Eufaula team is beat until it is so. 2 wide outs to the left. Bubba Scott back. Wants to run the option. Cuts up on the quarterback. Draw goes to the 31-yard line. Gets a gain of about 2.5, maybe 3 on the play. It'll bring up second down at about 7 yards to go now. Where they mark it down, it looks like it'll be closer to 8 yards to go. It's a short 8, but we're going to call it second down. Well, they keep moving it on down. We'll call it second down and 7 now. 3:09 left in the first half. The ball game started with nothing but quiet across the way as Eufaula was stunned by 2 quick touchdowns by Hartselle, and now it's gotten a little bit quiet on both sides of the field. 2 wide outs to the left. Bubba Scott up underneath. Goes back. Wants to throw. Plenty of time. Throws in the flat. Completed inside the 25 to about the 21-yard line. Maybe the 22. We'll have to wait till they mark it. But he's got more than enough for the first down. And I believe that was Jeff Bonner. Nope, Philip Woodham, number 12. Not 18, but number 12, Philip Woodham. So Eufaula, 1st and 10 now. And we're waiting for him to mark it. And they mark it at about the 22-yard line in Hartselle territory. 2:44. The clock continues to run. He did not quite get out of bounds. And as they stretch the chains across the way, it makes it look really closer to about the 21-yard line. So let's call it the 21. 1st and 10, Eufaula. Jerry Woodham, Lee Hollingsworth wide to the left. Kent Davis and Calvin Thomas behind Scott. Scott runs out to play. Goes to Calvin. Thomas to the 20. Inside the 15. Still driving. Inside the 13. And he's going to be down there a little bit close to the first down. He is short of it. They mark it at the 13-yard line. He was actually hit about the 20. One man hit him around the waist. And he just absolutely refused to go down. So Calvin showing some fine running now. And Eufaula will be looking at second down. 2 yards to go. We're looking at a minute 55. Plenty of time left on the clock if we go to the end. Dave Richardson goes out across the way. Philip Willem comes back into the ball game. Kent Davis goes out of the ball game now. Eufaula, they've been looking close, and they're getting a little bit late, so they decide to do the smart thing. 1:41 left, first half. We've got a 14-14 ball game. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. Eufaula, a little bit of mix-up then on the substitution. Bubba Scott just turned around, decided to call timeout. Not a bad decision. We've got second down, 2 yards to go. The ball is at the 13-yard line in Hartselle territory. 1:41 left to play in the first half. In case you may have joined us late, the first possession of the Tigers fumbled. Burks took it for Hartselle in there, ran it in 30 yards. The next time the Tigers fumbled, and Hartselle drove it in 28 yards to lead 14-0. Scott brings her out this time. Now he pitches to Richardson around left end. Cuts inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Goes Derek Richardson, and you follow how they first and goal from that point. Give a lot of credit that time to the quarterback, Bubba Scott. He pitched to Richardson, went on out and threw the block that actually made him able to turn upfield. And where they mark it, looks like it's closer to the 8-yard line, so they've been there before. It is first and goal at the 8-yard line for the Eufaula Tigers, dead center of the field. 1:25 left in the first half. Calvin Thomas and Kent Davis, the running backs. Scott up underneath now. Goes to Kent Davis. Davis takes it away from him. He's hit for no gain. He was hit, and Bubba Scott really wanted to take the ball back from Kent. He thought he was going to be hit, but he couldn't get it out of the hands of Kent. So actually, they got away with a lot of good luck on that one. That was a situation that could have created a fumble. No gain on the play. Second down. Goal to go from the 8-yard line. In comes Egerton, Philip Woodham, and Derek Richardson. Lee Hollingsworth, Kent Davis, and Calvin Thomas will go out. Eufaula, 50 seconds left in the first half. Plenty of time to run 3 more plays. And I imagine they'll go for the field goal if they don't get the touchdown. Bubba Scott looks him over, flanking to the right. Scott pitches to Richardson, goes around left end, cuts inside. Derek Richardson, 8 yards, turned it up. He saw pay dirt. He was not to be denied. And I'll tell you something else. He gave it to the official that time. He didn't want a 15 yards. So lightning is struck now. The Tigers have the favor returned to them. 37 seconds left in the first half. And they're quickly on top by a score of 20-14, and it is getting quiet on this side. Extra point attempt. The lines are set. Snap. The play's on the tee. The kick is in the air. It is good. Eufaula leads 21-14. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. 21-14, Eufaula on top, trailing 14-0, has come roaring back with 21 points, 37 seconds left in the first half, and the Tigers of Eufaula are looking as sharp on offense. This time by Tim Holmes, taking in on the other side now, not yet taking in. It's touchdown, picked up at about the 11-yard line. He comes to his left. He makes it to a wall. He's going to be hit and bumped down inside the 5-yard line by number 8. So Hartselle trailing 21-14 now. After leading 14-0, will have the ball at their own 4-yard line and 31 seconds left to do it. I feel sure that what their coach will want to do at this point is regroup, try to get the troops back underway, and just run out the clock here and then get back together the halftime. 20 seconds left. They may let the majority of it expire here without taking a chance on a fumble, because a fumble here would put them in a bad situation. The wide off to either side. The quarterback Mims, 10 seconds left. He will get the play off. He has to. Runs the quarterback sneak over right guard. He's going to be hit. Stood up. Tries to get outside. Now he's brought down back inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. He'll end up losing yards. That is the end of the first half of the play. We'll recap this fantastic first half. But first, let's pause for 3 minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and the Cardiac kids are at it once again. All year they have gotten behind in ball games. They did not know when to quit. Nobody ever seems to tell them they're beaten, roll over, and play dead. They absolutely yards, made a first down, and then going into the second series of downs, Bubba Scott on an option play, and I haven't yet figured out exactly what he was doing. It looked like he pitched out forward downfield. I'm sure he must have been hit or something to create the fumble going in that direction. Johnny Burns took it in untouched all the way in from 30 yards out, and quickly, decisively, with 9:45 to go in the first period, Hartselle was on top by a score of 7-0. The offense of Hartselle not yet to touch the football. The next possession, Eufaula fumble. Derek Richardson on about a 2-yard run was hit. Fumbled the football at the 28-yard line. It was recovered again by Hartselle, and a 28-yard drive with a 15-yard run by number 25, Stevie Williams, and he is a good one, believe you me. Took it in from 15 yards out, and all of a sudden, with 5:58 left to go first period, the Hartselle Tigers on top 14-0, and it looked like lightning had struck Eufaula. It just looked like we would be blown off the field before we could even get back up to midfield. However, this is the Eufaula Tigers that we've watched all year. That they've been in that situation before, never behind 14-0. I think, I take that back. We did trail off at 14-0. Came back, made a ball game out of that one. Just could not get the ball in. But for the most part, they haven't been behind over 6 or 7 points throughout the year, but they've been behind several times, and they just refused to quit. They came back following the kickoff from the second score by Hartselle, started a 70-yard drive with 5:58 left. They finally culminated it on the first play of the second period. At 11:55 to go in the second period, Derek Richardson took it around right in for a 9-yard touchdown into the end zone untouched, and the point after by Simmons was good. And with 11:55 in the second period, the Tigers looked, well, we're going to make it respectable anyway, and made it 14-7. Hartselle still led at that point. They came back by Hartselle to 3 yards total offense on the next possession, and that was outside the Hartselle 40-yard line. They got the kickoff back to the 40. Jay Richardson was guilty of spiking the football after the first touchdown, and that made it 14-7. I believe it was after the first touchdown. At any rate, the Tigers, they got the ball again. They're on 30, and once again, a 70-yard drive. This time, a 23-yard touchdown pass to Derek Richardson over the middle. And if Derek Richardson has gotten inside the 10-yard line tonight, he has found that goal line. He looks like Earl Campbell. He can smell it. He's going after it, and he has had one tremendous football game. 5:19 left to go in the first half. The point after by Simmons good again, and we had a tie ball game, and all of a sudden, old momentum is taken off the red jersey, and he put on the white jersey of Eufaula. Momentum, of course, can be a very big ball player in these ball games. The Tigers kicked off again to the other Tigers of Hartselle, and they finally got the ball made. I believe they were on the verge of making a first down. At any rate, they fumbled the ball on the 33-yard line, doing a favor that returning a favor Eufaula had given them earlier. Ball game off. But for right now, the Eufaula, after trailing 14-0, leads 21-14 at the halftime. The goalpost, the only time this year that they failed to do that, they were defeated, and that was up against Auburn. They came out of one end, and the goalpost they wanted to use was at the other end. They just said they were running a little late. They said, forget it. But believe you me, ever since then, if they have to go the length of the field, they come out underneath the goalpost. A lot of superstition involved in these ball games. The two teams are back out. And if you've been cooking all this mess of footballs in the microwave, then it's time to turn it on high and stand by. We may have to end up cooking it with laser beams. We may have to throw logs on it, just set the whole house on fire to get this one finished. We got a barn burner, 21-14. Eufaula leads it. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back. The two teams are just about ready. Derek Richardson will be kicking off. We listened to some unofficial stats down the line, and they show Eufaula with 202 yards total offense in the first half, in spite of their mistakes early in the ball game. Richardson will kick off. He has scored 3 touchdowns for the Tigers tonight. Back to receive will be Williams, and number 27, it looks like Terry Orr. And this is going to be a good one. Turn it on high, mama. We're kicking it off. A short kick this time. It's going to be bounced around in a fumble. Let's see. Well, Hartselle will recover, and they'll do so at about their own 31-yard line. I'm not sure if that was intentional or if Derek missed it or not. He hit the top of the football. It bounced it over and over. And was almost recovered by one of the Eufaula players, but 2 of the Hartselle players managed to dive on it quickly at about the 32-yard line. So Hartselle, first and 10 at their own 32, trailing 21-14, and now we'll have to see exactly what goes on. They come out, wide man to the right, a pro set backfield, and can they stop the quarterback Sims this half now? Sims takes to his fullback up the middle to the 35-yard line, a gain of 3. Second down, 7 yards to go, stopped in the middle of the line. We see down getting up off the bottom, we see 82, I believe that's 82 Yarbrough, Derek Richardson off the very bottom of the pile, and Marty Williams down on the bottom as well. So Marty up last. I think Marty might have got the initial lead. 3 yards, they say, now to the 35. Second down, 7 yards to go. Wide to the left comes Ward. Wide to the right goes number 34, Wiggins. Quarterback underneath with the split backfield now. Whistle, and let's see what the call is. And I believe it's going to be encroachment against Eufaula. I think the Eufaula man stepped forward a little bit and stepped across the line. So Eufaula again pulls the penalty. This time it'll be a 5-yard walk-off, and that was a big one at this point. It'll move it up to the 40-yard line, and it'll bring up second down at about 1.5 yards to go. Wide out to the right. Now, big passing down available to the Tigers of Hartselle. Quarterback Sims underneath now. Takes space. Now wants to throw over the middle. He throws. It's going to be completed. And down to the Eufaula 45-yard line, maybe just outside of it. Now they mark it dead over the 45. It's going to be Hartselle as the pass to number 14, Barry Ward, is complete. And that one was thrown in some heavy traffic, and he threaded the needle right in there. So they go to the in the short yardage situation. First and 10, Hartselle at the Eufaula 45-yard line. And turn that microwave on high, mama. We got a ball game going. Wide to the left comes number 7, Barnett. Over to the right is McCray. Quarterback Mills underneath. Face runs out to the right. He's outside. And no, he would not go down. He's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. He was hit at about the 41, would not go down, and he picks up about 6, maybe 7 yards. We'll have to wait till they mark it down. They say it's at the 39-yard line now. So a quick gain of about 6 yards by the quarterback Mills, and the Hartselle Tigers are rolling. They trail 21-14 after leading 14-0. We've got 10:23 left in the third period of play. Wide to the left is number 14, Ward. He's got a slot man inside. Post set backfield. Mims, the quarterback, takes. Fumble to left feet. Now it's going to be recovered at about the 40-yard line. So a loss of 1. The quarterback wanted to pitch, and it looked like he just simply lost the handle. It's a loss of about 1.5 or 2 on the play. This time it'll bring up third down, though. And about almost a 4 or 5 yards to go for the first down. A little less than 5, but we'll call it 5. If they make 5, they've got a first down. 9:51 left in the third period. Number 12, McCarley in the slot. Ward wide left. Quarterback Mills underneath. Overlooks the 4-man in front of you falling out. Takes. Goes to his fullback. He is drilled by Derek Richardson at the 30-yard line. A classic tackle, just like coaching clinic. Derek put the helmet in the gut, picked him up and drove him back. So a gain of about 1.5 yards, and the Eufaula Tigers have stopped Hartselle. It'll be first or fourth down and about 4 across the way, and the Hartselle will send in their punting unit. The second punt of the game for them, and I believe number 7 is their punter, Barnett. We have a little bit of a glare. The lines are set. Barnett gets a good snap left. He kicks it over to the left, trying to go for the out of bounds. It hits the 17, down to the 15, and it'll be down at the 15-yard line. Eufaula territory. They are 85 yards away from payment. First and 10 with 9:05 left to go. A 23-yard punt that time. No return. Eufaula deep in their own territory now. No mistake, country. They cannot afford another mistake. The clock goes back to running now. Exactly 9 minutes left in the third period of play. The defense is held for Eufaula. And now let's see if the offense, who was taking yardage in big cups in the first half, can pick up where they left off. They flank the 1 man wide to the right. We've got Thomas. They go to get Davis up the middle, and Davis is quickly out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. We thought Bubba Scott still had the football. That's how good a fake he carried out. Get Davis 6 yards all the way to the 21-yard line. It'll bring up second down, 4 yards to go. And Eufaula with 6 big ones in a hurry. They were taking yardage in jumps in the first half, and it had to be demoralizing to some degree. The Hartselle to lead by 14-0, then end up failing at the buzzer at the halftime. Calvin Thomas still in the tailback. Tracy Mentor fullback. They go to Mentor up the middle. He gets 1, maybe 2, up to about the 23-yard line before he's brought down. It'll bring up third down and about 2 yards and a very big third down in the ball game right now. Eufaula wanting to maintain possession and not punt from here, especially because of the field position that Hartselle would get out of it. 7:56 left in the third period. Eufaula still leads it 21-14. They bring in Derek Richardson and Phillip Woodham now. Calvin Thomas I formation now. Easton in at the blocking back. They go to Richardson. Straight up the middle. Over the top. He's got it first down. Richardson to about the 27-yard line. As he hit into the line, he was not to be denied. He went over the top and came down at about the 27-yard line. So Eufaula has rooted it out. If nothing else, they got a little more room. First and 10 now. The ball at their own 27-yard line. 7:30. Exactly left to play in the third period. Eufaula on top, and it has been a stem winder of a ball game. As they came from behind, 14-0, they lead it 21-14. Egerton goes wide to the right. Split backfield, pro set type of formation now. Scott takes pitches to Richardson around left end. Hit and brought down at about the line of scrimmage. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage, but he managed to get back to the line of scrimmage on a good second effort, but he was hit real hard across the way by number 6, Johnny Burke. That's the play that Derek has given Hartselle so much trouble, and I'm sure that's the play they wanted to be sure they stopped at the halftime. Hector, we're still over half of the time left in the third period of play. It may become a factor later in the ball game with Eufaula leading it. Right now, Hickerson split wide to the right. We've got a pro set backfield once again. Take Andrew Richardson up the middle. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, gets away, goes to the 30-yard line on some second, third, and fourth effort. He picks up 3 tough yards. Derek Richardson came to play tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He had an off night last Friday night, but in 3 years of being All-State, everybody's entitled to an off night every now and then, I do believe. That's the only one we can remember, really, this year. And I really can't remember any of the last 3 years where he's had as bad a night as he did last Friday night, but they were double-teamed him. Third down. A good, strong 7 yards to go for the first down. 6:02 left to play in the third period. Scott looks him over. He's got an eye formation with Hagler in at the tailback. He doesn't like the formation. Something seems mixed up. Eufaula calls time out to get it straight. With 5:55 in the third period, Eufaula leads it 21-14. Eufaula back now in the huddle, ready to go. 5:55 left in the third period of play. A little bit of mix-up. They call the timeout. Derek Richardson back in at the tailback position. Philip Woodham at fullback. Scott takes it. Pitches to Richardson. Coming around right in. He's to the 35-40. He may go. 40. It's a foot race. 30. 20. They win by catching 10-5. Touchdown. Derek Richardson on a fantastic 70-yard touchdown run. And he is having that. Eufaula leads it 23-27 as we count the points up. 27-14, Eufaula. They broke it that time. The pitch out to the right side. He came inside, and it's as good a blocking as I've seen from Eufaula all year, Sandy Jones. Michael Simmons once again for the extra point that will put Eufaula on top by 14. The Lions are set. The ball is now placed on placed at the tee. He could not get the ball with mishandled. A low snap, and Eufaula still leads it by 13, though 27-14. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back. You might have caught us talking just a second there. We're a couple of seconds coming back, catching up on our stats. And what we were saying was that you reckon Derek Richardson is not showing people that he can play offense. Tim Holmes will be kicking off now. Eufaula 27-14 on top. Holmes, an off the side of his foot kick. That'll go out of bounds, and that will hurt Eufaula. And Hartselle will take it first and 10 at their own 40-yard line. And once again, we get a chance to mention that we consider that probably the most unfair penalty in high school football. Down at the level of competition, where the players are more likely to kick the ball out of bounds, they bring it back, give it to the offense at the 40-yard line. In the pros and in college, they just penalize them 5 yards or give them the option, which they have in high school, of either where it went out or at the 40-yard line. Maybe one day they'll take the monkey off the back of these inexperienced kickers. 27-14, Eufaula on top, 5:43 left in the third period. The defense getting set now, wide out to either side. Mims, the quarterback, with a pro set backfield. Back, wants to throw now, getting a little pressure, throws deep over the middle. Intercepted by the 35. He cuts it back across the green. Now he's going to be hit at the 50, still moving. He's to the 48-yard line. We reached for the flag, but I don't know if he threw it or not. We'll take the football. I thought I saw a late hit. The guy reached for the flag, but he missed it. And I believe it is on the field. A late hit is going to be called against Hartselle. One man came in a little late. I don't think he intentionally was late. I think he really missed a stop and just couldn't help it. But that'll move the ball all the way down to about the 34, 33-yard line in Hartselle territory. Eufaula on top, 27-14. They've got first and 10 at the Hartselle 34-yard line. And when Mims put that one up, it hung on him in that wind, Sandy Jones. Hollingsworth playing center field as he has done so much here. Lately intercepted. We thought he had a lane where he might take it down the sideline, but Eufaula has it. First and 10 now. That's the 34. Scott gives to Davis. Davis up the middle to the 30, to the 27-yard line, and Eufaula is pulling holes in that line of Hartselle. 5:15 left, third period. Again, that time of about 7 on the play. They mark it up to the 27-yard line. Eufaula could put it on top by 20 points, which would, believe it or not, with still some 17 minutes left. The way Eufaula came back, we hesitate to say it, but it would really go a lot towards putting icing on the cake. Reggie Mitchell at fullback, Calvin Thomas at the tailback. Second down, 2.5 yards to go. Mitchell, 20, 15, 10 to the 9-yard line. Goes Reggie Mitchell. Rips it all the way from the 27 to the 10-yard line. They say it's where he hits to a 17-yard run now by Reggie Mitchell, and the Tigers are knocking on the door. He is inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal, and right now a field goal, if nothing else, Sandy Jones, would be a big play at this point in the ball game. That would put them out of reach. It was where they would have to score 2, go for 2 twice just to tie. Right now, Derek Richardson in at tailback. He's already got 4 touchdowns on the board. They take Mr. Richardson coming around right in. He's going to be hit and thrown. Now he gets back to about the line of scrimmage, just around the 10-yard line. So fine defensive play over here by number 49 and 14 on the play, Scott Roden, and 14, Barry Ward. And they give it back to the line of scrimmage. Second down, goal to goal. The ball just inside the 10, the back end of the ball, almost on the wide chalk part. 4 minutes left to play, third period. Eufaula looking for that 5th touchdown. 27-14, they lead it. Calvin Thomas back in the tailback. Bubba Scott, double tight end formation. Back. He wants to throw. He's looking behind him. He's got him in the open. Touchdown. You would have to see it to believe it. Of course, as much as he has done it, you just believe it. He overthrew Lee Hollingsworth. I guess he overthrew it. You can't overthrow Lee Hollingsworth, Sandy Jones. He tried it all year and has not been able to. He overthrew, dropped it perfectly over the defensive back's head. Lee Hollingsworth went up with his right hand and pulled it into his body before he hit the ground. Suddenly, Eufaula on top as lightning continues to pop. 33-14, they lead it by 19, and they're going for the 2 points, which would make it a 21-point lead. Bubba Scott takes, wants to run the option. He pitches back to Thomas. Thomas has hit it the 8th. He will not get it, but Eufaula on top, 33-14, 3:44 left, third period. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We were just talking about the hands on Lee Hollingsworth. I've said all year he is my choice as an all-state wide receiver, and he showed everybody here why. Holmes kicks off a driving kick this time that puts Williams back to the 3. Comes up the middle of the field now. Goes to his left to the 20. Got some running room outside to the 30. Cuts back. He's got a block across the way. Runs into his own man. He's going to be hit and blocked down at the Eufaula 45-yard line. His own man got in the way, but that time a 62-yard return. And Hartselle is in business first and 10 at the Eufaula 45-yard line. So Stevie Williams shows everybody what he's done all year. Hartselle trails 33-14. But once again, we've got the microwave on high, and don't give up. We've still got a barn burner. The defense out here, Hartselle trying to get their team something started here. First and 10. Mills overlooks them. He's got a flanker to the right. Takes, hands to fullback. Got outside to the 41-yard line. A gain of about 4. Goes number 44, and that is David Citizen, and the tackle was made by number 25, Reggie Mitchell, number 12, Philip Woodham. They mark it just short of the 40. A gain of about, let's call it 4.5 on the play. For simplicity's sake, we'll say second down, 6 yards to go. Extremely wide to the right goes number 12, McCarty. Wide to the left is Ward. Throw set backfield. Mills out. Takes, wants to throw. He's looking deep. Now he's throwing deep. Darren Hollingsworth down there. Oh, it's all backward. Into the hands of the receiver, number 14, Barry Ward. It looked as if Darren Hollingsworth would intercept it, but he was traced out trying to do it. And the receiver, Barry Ward, took it out of it and went on into the end zone. So quickly, they get those final 6 points back as Hartselle is on the board with 2:44. The score is 33-20, and we told you not to go away. We've got a barn burner going on right here. Hartselle will go for the single extra point. The kicker will be number 8, Greg Clemens. 33-20, they'll try to throw it up within 12. The lines are set. The ball is now placed on the tee. The kick is in the air. It is no good. He missed it wide left. So with 2:44 left in the third period, after lightning strikes in favor of Hartselle, we've got a 33-20 ball game. Eufaula leads it, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Bryce.
Welcome back. We told you not to go away. With 5:43, Eufaula scored. They scored again with 3:43 left to go, and now with 2:44 to go, Hartselle has scored. We've had 3 touchdowns and 1 minute and 59 seconds on the scoreboard. So hang on to your hat. We got a barn burner going on in North Alabama. Kicking off now will be Hartselle. Back deep to receive. Kent Davis to Calvin Thomas. The kickoff will go down the left side. Kent Davis takes it at his 9 to the 15, 20 up the middle of the field to the 25, 27-yard line, and almost spurted out of the middle of that Hartselle defensive team, but he's brought down at the 27. Eufaula will have it. They lead it 33-20 with 2:38 to go in the third period. A lead of 13 points. They got it 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. But Lightning has struck back swiftly. Hartselle, that's the first touchdown, the first points they've been able to put on the board since early in the first period of play. With 5:58, they scored. They've not even threatened until that last play. I formation behind Scott. They need to run off some clock now. Davis goes straight ahead, gets close to the 30-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 7 yards to go for Eufaula. The Hartselle team is getting fired up now that they finally got something going, got unpacked just a little bit. And now the Eufaula Tigers need to drive another one. This time, 73 yards to get back, get that little bit more cushion. They lead it by 13, 33-20 after the missed extra point. But with Lightning striking in the manner in which it just did, 13 points may not be enough. High formation, Richardson tailback. Richardson around right in on the pitch. Gets outside 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 44-yard line in Hartselle territory. Now they're saying he stepped out of about the 47 in Eufaula territory. We knew he was very close to the sideline. We couldn't tell for sure. Either way, that is more than enough for the first down. Eufaula has gotten it out of their own territory so deep. They've got 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. And continually, Derek Richardson is piling up yardage, and he has got to be, getting close to somewhere. He's got to be over 100 yards already, especially after that run. But he's really having a fantastic night. This is the kind of team it is. He's riding out a different hero. High formation. They go to Reggie Mitchell up the middle. He's stacked up at the 48-yard line. They'll bring up 2nd down and about 9 yards to go. As 4 red shirts just pile him under, led by Johnny Burks and number 14, Ward. Barry Ward, the man who just took the pass, I believe that's Ward. It might be 44, or 64, excuse me. Martin Rittman, 64, the man on the tackle that time. But a fine catch by the receiver, Barry Ward, as he just simply took it away from Darren Hollingsworth at about the 5 and went right on into the end zone for Hartselle. 2nd down, 9 yards to go for Eufaula. High formation, they take. Go to Kent Davis up the middle to the 50, outside to the 45, down and to about the 44-yard line. He's about a yard short of his first down. Maybe a half yard or so. We'll have to wait until they mark it exactly. Where they mark it, it's almost a full yard short of the first down. They say it's just barely across the 45-yard line. So he needs about 5 feet for the first down. We're looking at 3rd down. 39 seconds, 38 seconds left in the third period. Eufaula, if they could drive this one down the field, it's 73 yards and go back ahead by 3 touchdowns, would be on the verge of being unbeatable. Now they pitch to Richardson. They come up. Richardson, he gets his first down and almost broke that one too, all the way down to the 40-yard line. They really stacked up, came up quick. And if we had a play right now that called for it, then Derek Richardson had a halfback pass, it would go without a doubt because all the defensive backs are coming up. As soon as they give it to him, now they move the ball all the way back to the 42-yard line, close to the 43-yard line, and now they're going to have to measure for the first down. Maybe he hit and slid. The field is a little bit soft, but we got a timeout. We're going to hold it here while we wait for the measurement. The ball is at about the 43-yard line. From where we're looking at it, I believe he's got his first down. The change to put out a stretch. He's got it. By about 6 inches plus the length of the football. So Eufaula, 1st and 10, the 43-yard line in Hartselle territory. 17 seconds left, and I'm not sure if they will even get a playoff here. They need to let as much clock run down as possible. Brother Scott looks it over. They're going to let it expire. 10 seconds left. nothing. He will not get another snap off here in the third period. They want to use up this much time. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. That is the end of the third period of play. Eufaula leads it 33-20. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We're back here trying to figure out exactly what is occurring. The two teams that stopped and they're facing. Okay, if you're in the military, I think they call it retreat. That's what they play when they take the flag down. We've never been in the Air Force, and when you heard that noise, all action ceased to exist on the base until they got the flag down and stopped finished playing it. We are at the end of 3/4 of play. Turn that microwave on high, leave the door open. We'll worry about the radiation later. We got a barn burner going on, 33-20. Eufaula over Hartselle. They've got a 1st and 10 at the Hartselle 43. Scott brings them out with an I formation. Take. Hands to the second man through. He's down to the 40, and a penalty flag in that area usually indicates holding. And we anticipate we're going to see a walk-off back down into Eufaula, inside Eufaula territory. Holding is the call. We have full. This will be, I think, Sandy says, 55 yards in penalty. And we have yet to see one marked off. Well, we have seen 1.5 yards. Onside on the extra point, the only flag thrown against the Hartselle Tigers. That'll move the ball all the way back to the Eufaula 44-yard line. It'll still be first down, but it'll be first down, and okay, they call it from the point of infraction again. At about 22, 3 yards or so for the first down. About 23 yards to go now. 11:45. The clock continues to run. Eufaula leads it 33-20, and we got one going. And y'all stay tuned. If it maintains the lead like this, you're going to get to hear the voice again. Take the handoff to Richardson again up the middle. 45, 46-yard line, close to the 46. Gain of only about 3 on the play. Try to catch him sleeping a little bit on the draw play. And right now, I don't anticipate that Eufaula will be putting the ball up in the air too much. With 11:20 left to play, the ball even a 13-point lead. Second down now, and about 22 yards to go. Give him a gain of 1 on the play. Across the 45, the ball of the football about 18 inches the front of the football over the 45-yard line. Calvin Thomas goes out across the way. Derek Richardson, I believe, is still in at the tailback. I can't tell for sure. Kent Davis to fullback. Now they go to Kent Davis. Davis is hit, gets up to the 48-yard line. A gain of about 3 on the play. The clock continues to run, becoming a very big factor for the Hartselle Tigers, though. Down under 10:50 to 10:45 left to play in the ball game now. It'll bring up third down and just about 20 yards to go for Eufaula. Hartselle desperately wanting to stop the Tigers or assist the Tigers in stopping themselves, I guess you might say, after the Tigers pulled a 15-yard penalty in such excellent field position. Clock continues to run. 10:25 left now. They bring Hollingsworth wide left, and Jerry Williams slides inside it. I formation now behind Brother Scott. Scott on the draw play. Scott inside the 45 to the 40 to the 39-yard line goes Calvin Thomas. So it'll be fourth down and about 6 yards to go now for the Tigers, but at least they got it down where they can punt the Hartselle Tigers back down deep. Good run at that time. A gain of about 12 on the play, or 13 on the play by Calvin Thomas on the draw play, and now Hartselle trying to get some substitutions in and out and back to punt. In fact, the first punt of the ball game for Eufaula is Ron Hagler at his own 48-yard line. Gets a good snap, gets his kick away, goes for the corner, hits at the 15, goes out, and will go out of bounds inside the 10, down near the 7, maybe they mark it at the 8-yard line. So with 9:40 left to play the ball game, Hartselle 92 yards away, and that was a 32-yard punt that time, a 31-yard punt by Ron Hagler out of bounds, no return, and they've got the Hartselle Tigers back to deep. Probably one of the most important series on defense for Eufaula coming up in the ball game. If they can stop Hartselle here, they can get excellent field position to use 4 o'clock up. Wide out to the left now. The quarterback Mills underneath. Tate throws to his fullback. He's up close to the 15-yard line on some good running, about 7-yard gain. Goes, I believe that's Williams. One number on the back, but that is Stevie Williams. Giving 7 yards to the 15-yard line. Clock continues to move. We're down to 9:23. We'll keep an eye on that. Wide out to the left once again. Darren Hollingsworth goes over there along with Reggie Messer. There's the quarterback underneath. Mills, rather. We can't keep that straight. Pro set backfield. A long count by Mills. Takes. quarterback draw right in the middle of the field. He started his first down, or very close to it, rather, the way we look at it now, up to about the 18 or 19-yard line. And the way they mark it, I believe he may just have his first down by a shade. Under 9 minutes left now. The clock is stopped for the measurement with 8:57 left to play. And the quarterback draw, he faked the pass, just stepped back 2 or 3 steps, then right up the middle. We missed the man on the tackle, but it appeared to be Phillip Woodham, the inside linebacker on the right side. They bring the chains out from our place. It looks like he's got his first down, and he's got it by about 4 or 5 inches. It's closer than we thought it was. So Hartselle now, 8:57 left to play in the ball game. They trail by 13 points, 33-20. Eufaula defense trying to dig in. They spread them out. Still, the quickness in which Hartselle scored on the long ball a while ago has to be a threat to the Tiger defense. Ward goes wide to the left. McCleary goes wide to the left as well. Back to throw is Bell. Throws long. Throws in and out of the hands of Darren Hollingsworth. Right in the hands of Darren. We thought he had it. It was overthrown over the intended receiver, number 14, Barry Ward, till the clock is stopped on the incompletion. 8:41 left to play in the ball game. Second down 10. The ball still at the 19-yard line in Hartselle territory. And Darren Hollingsworth pulled that one down, saying that he could have given somebody trouble because it was thrown out in the flat, overthrown. If he had pulled it in, he would have been very close to the goal line before he could have been stopped. Wide on to the side now. Ward to the right this time. Back to throw. Mills wants to throw out in the flat. Throws, and it's almost intercepted by Bobby Anderson. He messed up the play to Stephen Williams. At any rate, it's incomplete. And it's third down and 10 now for Hartselle at their own 19-yard line. Anderson in the line of the pass that time. And the quarterback just barely threw it high enough to clear his hands. But by doing so, made it incomplete to his intended receiver. The clock is stopped. We've got 8:36 to go. Number 12, Scott McCarley, wide right. Ward goes wide to the left now. Back to throw is Mills. Once again, he runs. Now wants to throw a straight pass. On the first three, being offensive interference. As number 49, I believe, was his number over there, pushing you ball a player before he could get to the football. Either way, the defense has done their job. 4th and 10. Hartselle at the 19-yard line. Lee Hollingsworth goes back. He'll stand at the 45-yard line in Hartselle territory. And if he's not sure on this one, I'm sure he's been instructed to just let it hit the ground. 8:31 left to play. And back to punt, I believe it's number 8, Clement. Gets the low snap. Gets it kicked away. 44-yard line is 1st and 10 for Eufaula at that point. So from the 19 and 31, about 38, 39 yards punt that time now. And they gave the time when they needed to root it out of the hole. 8:24 now. Clock is momentarily stopped as the official marks the ball for play. And following the fair catch, the clock will not run until the south of the football. High formation, Kent Davis and Calvin Thomas behind Bubba Scott. Double tight formation, sit flanker to the left. They take Yoda Davis up the middle, 45, 50-yard line, and 5 quick ones by Kent Davis up the middle. Clock is running once again now. 15 to play the ball, and it becomes a very big factor. If Eufaula can take this one down the field and score any kind of points at all, then it's just about going to put the icing on the cake. But we can't say that because it only took Hartselle 1 minute to score a while ago. The ball just short of the 50. A good solid 5-yard gain. Barnes and Carter on the block at that time. Scott now takes it. Derek Richardson trying to get outside to the 50, and he gets to the 46-yard line. I think he may be close to the first down. Where the official puts his foot down, I'm going to say he's about a foot or so short of it. It is not a close spot, though, but the way they mark it down, he's about 18 inches or so short. It'll bring up third down and very short yardage for Eufaula. We're under 7:30. 7:27 left in the ball game in County. Eufaula 33-20 leading, trying to be state champions in Class 3A this year. And wrap it up, follow up what the 78 team did. The 78 team were state champions. State team is fighting to be champions as well. Jerry Richardson in at the fullback now. 3rd and short. Richardson. So give a lot of credit to the bench. With 7:03 left in the ball game, they came up with a play they really needed. They had to stop Eufaula, get the football back, and they threw the football back, maybe a 4-yard loss. So it'll be 4th down now, about 4 feet to go for the first down. 6:30 left to play in the ball game. The clock becomes a very big factor in the ball game now. And Rod Engel will go back. 39-yard line on the punt. They've got one man back, and they're coming for the block. A high snap. We got a flag, and the play is going to be called back. The whistle blows. Let's see what the decision is. Illegal procedure against Eufaula. So we still managed to run about 20 seconds off the clock with 6:33 left. And I didn't see where the football went. I think Engler got off. Where did the kick go, Sandy? He got off a short kick. The snap was high and to his right, so we get another chance now. So really, that's how you're going to tell about it. Certainly, still run about 20 seconds off the clock. 6:33 left. Engler now will go back in his own 36-yard line this time. The line is set. Coach across the way wants to know exactly what happened on the play. Guy says, okay. 4th down, 6 yards to go. Engler back in his own 35 for play. Then they get action. Right, kick away. On this blocker. Good kick that hits the kitty. Takes the Hartselle bounce and will go out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So Hartselle now, it was about a 31-yard punt that time. So Engler did the main job. He got the kick away. The clock is stopped on the out-of-bounds punt. 6:21 left to play in the ball. Hartselle with the football. They trail by 13, 33 to 20. Decide now. Under 6 minutes left. Clock is very big factor now. Quarterback Mills, don't know long count. He may be checking off. Runs the quarterback off the middle. He's going to be hit and going to be short of the first down at about the 29-yard line. He has to get close to the 30. Almost dead on the 30. Let's see now where they mark it. I think he's going to be short, and he is short of the first down. Clock continues to run. Down to 5:32 left to play in the ball game. The target defense looking at third down at about 18 inches. They need to come up with a big play. But Hartselle, it's almost a four-down country wherever they're at. Quarterback Mills underneath now. Looks him over. Takes the fullback. Way back on the 23-yard line. A very big play. Instead of going for the 10th first down with 18 inches, Hartselle decided to gamble on it. And who made the play, Sandy Jones? Kenneth Garber made the play all the way back to the 23-yard line. And now, all of a sudden, Hartselle is looking at 4th down, 7 yards to go, 4:50 left to play in the ball game. And they really have no choice but to go for it. Very big play. Eufaula can pretty well happen if they can stop this 4th down play. 4th down, 7 yards to go. Process backfield. Mills the quarterback. Back. Take this fullback. Holds the ball. Almost into the hands and out of the hands of the receiver. It is incomplete. That really has been the biggest play up to date in the ball game. Eufaula will have it. First and 10. They lead 33 to 20. The 23-yard line in Hartselle territory. 4.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. And if the offense can't spell it now, Sandy Jones, we can't help. We've got Sandy up here in the press box with us, doing some spotting and helping us out. We don't think we'll be where we don't have positions if we get ahead of the ball. What do you think to it? Bubba Scott. Go back to behind. Now goes to Derek Richardson. Across the way inside the 20, close to the 15, maybe the 16-yard line. So a gain of 6 or 7 on the play, though. But I said, wait till they mark it down. They said it's about the 17-yard line. So give them a gain of a 16-yard line. The flag fell out of somebody's pocket. It's 2nd down, and a short 4 yards to go. Derek Richardson goes out of the ball across the way. I do believe it's been that kind of ball game. I'm afraid to say at this point, and Sandy Jones agrees with me. But if they can drive this one in, they're going to take us 2 or 3 minutes, and it would be virtually impossible then. Eufaula trying to become state champion for the 2nd time in 4 years. Bubba Scott brings them out now. Full house backfield. Double tight in. Take goes to Calvin Thomas. Thomas hit that. 5 touchdown. 4:15 left to go. 30 20. Eufaula leads it. And I've got something to say, but I'm going to wait a minute. Y'all give me a break. We're going to wait on one of the biggest offensive explosions of the night. Calvin Thomas from 16 yards out. Eufaula 39 points, and it's been almost unbelievable. People across the way coming down out of the stands. Maybe we're finding out how many Hartselle people were in that side of the stands over there now. The kick is in the air. It is no good on the extra point. The score 39-20. Eufaula leads it. 4:15 left to play. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Up to go. Eufaula is that amount of time from being the Class 3A state champions. They lead it by 19, 39-20. The lead taken at about the 24-yard line by Hartselle. Up the left sideline, he's hit down hard at about the 36-yard line. Across the way. We'll have to see exactly what happens. 4:10 left to play in the ball game. Eufaula leading by 39-20. From everything that we had heard, Sandy Jones, about this team, we are totally shocked to see the score as high as it is at this particular point, especially after Eufaula trailed it by 14-0. 4-4. The clock continues to run. Mims, the quarterback, splits Ward out wide to the right and sends Williams over there with him. The lines are set now. Pro set backfield. Man in motion to the left is Williams. Mims still looks. Wants to throw to Williams, I believe. Now he's looking to his right, trying to go down deep. Lee Hollingsworth goes back and to the ground. No good. Lee Hollingsworth playing center field. Does an excellent job. The clock is stopped with 3:44 to play in the ball game. Second down 10 for Hartselle at their own 36-yard line. Long past that time, Lee Hollingsworth had it under control, but you never know. The ball could be tipped and fall right into the hands of a receiver, but that one falls harmlessly to the ground. Eufaula on top, 39-20, and don't leave us when the ball game is over. We're going to get to what time this team should be back in Eufaula. Wide out to the right and left. Mims, the quarterback, runs it off to play to the right to Williams, cuts up the field, tries to get outside. He's got his first down out to about the 47-yard line with 3:36 left in the ball game. It'll be first and 10. Hartselle at the, call it the 47-yard line in Hartselle territory. He's got it more than enough for his first down. Clock continues to run. We're down to 3:32. 3:30 left in the ball game. Hartselle trails by 19. Eufaula doing everything they can to stop it. Wide to the left goes number 7, Barnett. And in the slot is Ward. Throws that backfield. Mims, the quarterback, looks him over. Runs out to play. Goes to Williams. And Greg Richardson goes while he's all safety. Stands him up at the 49-yard line and drives him back to the 43-yard line. Greg Richardson, a fantastic defense like he always has, and he's put 4 touchdowns on the board. 3 minutes left in the ball game. Now exactly 39-20. Eufaula leads it. The defense trying to dig in and stop it now. A long time being taken in the hole. Down to 2:50 left to play. We're not going to say anything yet until this ball game is over. We've seen this team strike too quick. Mims, the quarterback, wide out either side against the full man front for Eufaula. Fake, wants to throw. Got plenty of time. Throws down the sideline. Tommy Reeves is there. And the ball is incomplete. Hits the hands of the receiver. But Reeves managed to get his hands in there and fix it up just enough to make it incomplete. The clock is stopped with 2:35 left to play in the ball game. 39-20. Eufaula on top by 19. They are 2 minutes, 35 seconds away from becoming the Cinderella team of Class 3A football. A rebuilding year, and right now they're looking down the barrel and being the state champion. Now we've sat here trying to figure out roughly what time this team will be getting back into town. We'll try to be able to tell you more once the ball game is exactly over, and we expect the crowd, I don't care what time it is, to be there. The quarterback Mims looks over, both wide out. Takes, goes back, wants to throw. Got a lot of time down being run, throws right down over the middle. Out of his hands, almost had it, but it would have been a great over-the-shoulder catch, and he pulled it down at the the 15-yard line, rather. Incompletion stops the clock with 2:29 left to play in the ball game. Now it is 4th down and 9. And if they don't make a first down, Sandy Jones, I'm going to get the same to the 2 ladies. Mr. Quinney talked to a couple ladies the other day back down in the store, and she said she sure didn't like to hear that song because she knew what it meant. Wide out to either side. 4th down 9 for Hartselle now. Mims, the quarterback, back to throw again. Plenty of time. Now he throws the string to the right to Williams. George Hill. He shows the first down at the 47-yard line. 30-20, they lead it. 2:21 in the ball game, and Sandy, it's time to sing it. Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. 39-20. 2:21, Eufaula. All they have to do is kill a couple of minutes, or a minute and a half or so. Even if they turn it over, I see no way possible now for the Hartselle Tigers to overcome a 19-point deficit. deficit, and we are looking at the Eufaula Tigers come out of the huddle. That's what I say will be the Class 3A state champion. Scott has to get Davis inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. We are down to 2 minutes even. Now back again, what we were talking about, as Eufaula be looking at second down and 7 yards to go. We have tried to figure out when this team will be getting back into Eufaula. They will be leaving Hartselle somewhere around 10, rather. They'll get out of the dressing room in that neighborhood, and they will be going over and eating, and it'll take about 4.5 hours. So somewhere around 3:30, they should be hitting Eufaula. And let's everybody meet them. Scott underneath now. Takes Harrison Thomas, 45 to the 42-yard line. So Calvin Thomas, we've got a minute and a half left, and Eufaula, I think we can safely say now, I see no way in a minute and a half they can get 19 points. Eufaula will come from a team that started the season fumbling their first 2 possessions against Dothan High, held them to only 3 points. The defense grew up early in the season. They've done a fantastic job right here tonight, and they will be the 1981 Class 3A state champions. They lead 39-20 with 1:04 left to play in the ball game. Scott, fullback Davis. Davis inside the 40. Davis hits it first down to the 35-yard line, and that truly will put the icing on the cake. We came into Hartselle 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eufaula